Miami, Florida. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
For the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards on the play, first down.
One of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Jackson going to tuck it down on the option. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 39. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
He's going to wind up and air it out. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty damn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone. This time, really big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Jackson now. Flush to his right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Jackson will throw again, eluding the pressure right. He can run, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run with Hines. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Here's Hines. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
A 1-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 13.
From the gun, it's Tua. And that is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Bobby McCain. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
So Miami coming out for their second drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. After the turnover, it's Tua. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
Now it's Hines. Get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
This is Hines. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's complete right around the 8. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, 76 yards, and the Ravens have taken the lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Come on, guys, what are you doing?
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 on a first down. He's off to a great start here in this first quarter. It seems like this defense is probably going to have trouble containing him.
I would agree with that. I love the observation. And here's the thing. Their game plan coming to fruition. You knew that they came in thinking that they could run it, and now they're proving that they can and doing it in a big way.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Tua. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Tua hit, and the ball is out.
Lamar Jackson's sacked. Fumble on the play.
Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Play action. It's Jackson sliding up. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Open man is Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
Dolphins 7.
And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Well, we've said it many times, Charles, when you have weapons like this at the wide receiver position, just get them the football any way that you can, and here it's in the run game.
And that was an example of catching a team off guard because it really paid off for them. They weren't ready for that at all. I know they weren't ready to try and catch him because once he hit full stride, that was going to turn into a big play, and it did.
And the final number, pretty impressive courtesy of Next Gen Stats, 21.4 miles per hour. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Third down, Jackson steps away to his left. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
Dolphins 7.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Taken about 7 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
At the 29-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty, because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now Tua. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Back to the air on 2nd down, Tagovailoa. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
6 makes it 3rd and 4.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And again, it's Tagovailoa. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Second down and 3.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. Hill shedding the tackle. There he goes right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As the Ravens push further out in front.
The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. That deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to it, and that's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result was the touchdown run by Justice Hill.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll try the left side. It's Hines. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I loved one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Tua sets up to pass it. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And he comes back with one complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on 3rd down. Even better decision.
Down. Hines. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On 2nd down now. It's Hines, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Tua going to throw. And that is incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for him a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
Jackson on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson, and that'll be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now Jackson on 3rd down. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Emmanuel Ogba that time, able to drop him for a loss.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
7th play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. Yeah, great shot of picking that up in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Ravens 27, Dolphins 7.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. I'm talking about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds into half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
He gets this one complete to Bowden. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Tua to try again on second down. We'll get this complete to his running back, Bowden. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Tagovailoa going to try and throw on third down. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up fourth down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on third down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected fourth down here.
They'll run for it with Hines. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the moment.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. The best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 20-14, the final score. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Cam Newton leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Denver Broncos and the Tennessee Titans. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.